Hello guys, welcome back to our channel DoctorMom. This particular video is a part of our Instagram live series entitled Montessori at Home, in wherein we discuss about how easily we can transition our home every spaces in Montessori aligned way. In this particular video, we talk about the care of self and how we can encourage independency for the child to take care of themselves. If you are new here, kindly hit the subscribe button to stay updated for all our videos on Montessori and creative parenting, and also do check the link for my various social media handles on the description box below to watch our activities on a daily basis. The topic for today, we are going to more discuss about how to take care of ourselves in Montessori setup for the kids and for toddlers as young as 1 year of age, and how you can ease the process of taking themselves, being able to take care of themselves. Care of self is a very important aspect of Montessori, wherein we are telling the child or training the child in such a way that he is being able to take care of himself or herself without much of a support from others, like, or with the minimum support. So what exactly do the child has to learn? So when I'm talking about care of oneself, care of the self, the first spaces that come into mind are the bathroom spaces. So in today's topic, we are just going to discuss about how you're going to align your bathrooms in a way that it is child friendly and child oriented and eases the child in any kind of transition in helping him to get ready by himself on a daily basis. So what exactly will the care of self be important, like where exactly can you see that? So first of all, the things that you want your child to learn independently are brushing their teeth and able to comb their hair, and then washing their hands and able to take a bath. So these are the four main important things that your child should be able to perform himself without any major support. So why are we always concentrating on giving the child the opportunity to perform by himself and not through any outside support? The main reason why you want your child to to take any action by himself without any external support is to get him into confidence, because a child who can perform his own action is more confident than the others. Like, even if you help the child 100 times, the child will not be that confident as if when he is being able to do the task by himself. So helping the child do something on his own is going to boost their self-esteem in the long run, is going to give them confidence, and is going to give them a sense of accomplishment, a joy which cannot replace anything. Basically, when you are able to do a task by yourself, when you're able to complete a project, when you're able to finish an assignment, the happiness and the joy that you get that you were able to finish, that cannot be bought through any other means rather than doing by itself. And that is what we are all completely concentrating for, the care of the self and the Montessori at large. So how exactly are we going to change the setup? So initially, you just walk through the process of how exactly are you going to model the behavior to the child right from the time that he's going to get down from the bed, and like you just try to imagine the steps that is going to get involved in going to take care of yourself. Like, the child has to go in, open the doors of the bathroom, and then he has to be able to switch on or switch off the light, then being able to reach to the sink, pick up his own brush or paste, and then able to brush the teeth, open the tap, wash his hands, and then being able to take the comb and comb his hair, or able to undress himself, able to sit on the potty. So all these things are a series of steps that the child should be able to perform individually without any major support from anybody outside. So this is the sequence. So the sequence will vary depending upon each of you. So first of all, you need to visualize through yourself ki chalo, this is what is going to happen. And when you visualize the steps, then is when you can visualize how you can change it in a child friendly way, how the child can do it by himself without any major involvement by others. For example, the first and the most important thing that you need to have in your bathrooms are the step stools. I use normal plastic stools, but just because it is always monitored, like I stand beside them and I see to that they do not topple or push each other. But you can very well get wooden IKEA step stools. They are very good, and a small child, even a 1-year-old child, can stand there without any fear of being falling down or anything like that. So the first most important thing that you need to have in your bathroom are stools or steps. stools. These are normal stools that we use in Indian bathrooms to sit and to take bath. When we just use normal things, you just try to get a very heightened version wherein the child is able to stand on top of the stool and is able to access the wash basin without anybody trying to hold. You just imagine, you must have seen a lot of 2-year-old, 3-year-old kid when the mother has to hold the child on the lap and then she has to brush the teeth for the kid. The child has to spit out. He will spit out on the mom on the basin. So it is also chaotic and so frustrating both for the mother and the child. That the child feel that he's not able to do something on his individual and is feeling that he's being forced into doing something. The child is like always somebody's squeezing them, tightening them to do this, because a 2-year-old, 3-year-old kid will definitely like to be cuddled but would not like to be squeezed in a way that he cannot perform the action, that he feels there is no proper freedom. So that is when I tell that you always give them complete freedom but within limits, and so is when you have to have step stools so that the child can step up on the stool and perform the action unsupported. So what are the action? The first action that you can imagine is the child should be able to switch on or switch off the light by himself. So you can keep the stools right outside the bathroom or wherever is your switchboard, so that the child can stand on top of it. He can switch on the light and then enter the bathroom and then take the stool and put it near the wash basin. Because when you see any bathrooms for that matter are always designed in a way that they are going to help the adults but not the kids. Everything, the faucets, the taps, the knobs, almost everything is mostly oriented only towards the adult, and nowhere can you find it child friendly. So you have to bring in alternatives in such a way that the child is able to perform those actions by himself. The whole point comes down to just one single line wherein the child has to independently perform all the actions with as minimal support as possible. So you just try to visualize the steps, like the child is able to switch on the light and then he's going to go stand towards the wash basin, and then he's being able to open the tap. You have knob patterns, there are different kinds of tap systems. So if you can get an extender, faucet extender, wherein the child is able to hold the tap, he's able to regulate the movement. So all these are also going to involve in the development of fine motor skills for the kid. So you can do this, and then you keep the toothbrushes and toothpaste and combs in an easy reach position for the child. You don't keep it on top shelves or something where the child is not able to access, wherein he has to depend upon you for you to take it out and give it to him. You just keep it very much on the counter wherein the child can take it up, apply the paste, and and always I say, like I have followed in my rooms, what I do is like I offer all the items in travel size pouches, be it the toothpaste or the shampoos or hand wash, anything for the matter. I keep tiny tubes so that it serves two main purposes, like two purposes. One main purpose is that these are small and they fit into the child's hand so that they can just hold on to it. Like for example, I'm just having this right now. You just imagine a travel small toothpaste like this, or a small tube wherein you can fill the shampoo or anything of that kind, wherein the child can just squeeze it out and put on his hand and use it by himself. Or if it's a toothpaste, put on the brush and start to brush his own teeth. So keep travel sized toiletries in your toilet so that the child can use it and it fits into his hand and he feels the independency to open and use it. And the other thing is, having small thing is the avoid spillage, and that is what we fear. When you offer things to a kid, you feel that he's going to empty out everything and everything is going to get wasted. So when you give them in smaller portions, then they are going to understand that okay, let us just use this much, and they will just try to learn to use little by little and not just dump out everything. Another point that I have used personally when Ahi and Mizan were small, I used to break the soaps into half pieces. Like when you have a soap of this size, I used to break it half and give it to them so that it fits in their hands. Soap by itself is very messy or very slippery and it will just slip out of your hand. That adds to the frustration of the child. When the child is trying to use soap and scrub in his hand or scrub in the body or trying to do some activity like that, and it is going to continuously slip from his hand, and he's going to get frustrated and he's not being able to feel like I'm not able to do it myself, and that is when all these frustration develops. So what you can do when you give smaller soaps, smaller tiny soaps, then they have the control of holding the soap and then scrubbing it through their body. So you can have small tiny soaps break in, and then you can use the soap dispensers, the liquid dispensers, and that itself is a instrument that performs a lot of activity for the child. The child has to squeeze or press through the bottle for the liquid to come out, the liquid dispensers, and then he has to scrub his hand. The most important thing in this activity is the bilateral hand coordination for the child. The child has to visualize that only one hand he can use to press this thing, and the other hand he has to take in the soap and then he has to use it up. So So all these are tiny modifications that you can do in your homes so that it will ease the child to perform the activity by himself. So then next, like after brushing your teeth, then you can have small combs, small comb, again pocket travel friendly or pocket friendly comb, so that the child can take and try to brush his own hair or comb his own hair. And if you're having girl child, I would just say ki you can just keep just a couple of hair bands or just a couple of hair accessories for the child to choose and try it upon themselves, because keeping a lot of options is again going to create a lot of mess and a lot of clutter and a lot of confusion for the child in between choosing. So keep things in a way that they're minimalistic for the child to choose through and perform. And like I said, these tools can be used for anything, like when you're having a lot of counters and like a shelf system where you store things, in some bathrooms we have a lot of shelving system where you put all the storage inside, so the child can actually take access to any of the drawers that he wants to. When he knows key in these drawers these things are there, he can just go take the stool, go put it there, take the drawer out and take out whatever he wants. So ultimately it is all his ease in performing with the drawers, with the stools. And another thing that you want to keep it out are the tissues. Tissues are for older kids, like about 2.5 or like them. When you know or when you can teach them to blow their noses and wipe their noses clean, is then when you can have the tissues out and open and you can model it to them so that they can perform their own cleanliness basic things for them by themselves. So next thing, like I said, I have told about the step stools, then I have told about soaps and the soap dispensers, and then about the faucet extenders. And another thing that is very important, and if you've been watching my videos by now, you would have actually started installing command hooks or normal hooks all over your homes. You can find it in almost all of my rooms, everywhere in the cupboards, everywhere. You just put normal hooks in the child level, almost bottom level, so that the child can take it and wear his clothes, wear his jackets, like anything for the matter. In bathrooms, what we can do, we can hang towels so that once the child is able to wash his face, and then he can just take the towel and wipe his face and put it back on his place. He need not look up to you and ask you to give a dry towel and then put back the towel. Another thing that we have in the bathrooms are, we have small baskets. Exactly, I'm not using baskets, I'm using buckets. Small buckets, like color coded or size wise. We are having small, medium and big bucket. We are having 3 buckets wherein we put our laundry. So every time they change their clothes, or if there is a mess and I have to change their clothes, what they do, the smaller bucket goes for Mizan. So all his dresses he will go empty there. Ahian will empty in the medium bucket and I use the bigger bucket, so larger one. So they are just trained into removing their clothes and putting it on their own bucket. And at the end of the week, when the bucket's filled up, then they carry the bucket and come into the laundry room and give it to me and help me in putting in for the laundry. They also help me in putting the clothes for drying. So all these do not happen overnight. This is not something that has happened overnight, like I've told him once do and do. It comes over a period of time. They see you model the behavior, they observe you continuously. And then when you ask for help, especially small kids, I have observed, when you always ask for help, they will be over enthusiastically ready to come out and help. So ask for help and see that they will get involved definitely, and they will try to help you throughout the procedure of this laundry and things like that. Another thing, like about bathroom, like we said, we can have bath toys, like you can have small bins and you can have bath toys wherein you can even rotate the bath toys. Similarly, like toy rotation in the rooms actually sparking more interest and curiosity for the kid, like when he goes to the bathroom next, what kind of toys he's going to have. So if you're having a lot of bath toys, then you can try to even rotate those toys, keep them a couple of books there so that they can read through when they're sitting in the potty. And if possible, have the storage systems low where they can pick up the tissues by themselves when they have to change the tissues, or when they have to change the diapers, they can go pick their diapers, pick the wipes for small kids. So you can do that. Ultimately, everything should be on their height so that they can perform the action unassisted. So that's what I'm telling. And then the most important thing about bathrooms are the potty training, potty seat training. So all that is a very big thing, by a different video by itself. But for now, I just like to say we use both the potty chair, and right now we are not using Western closet for them. I do not yet have a potty seat for that. So we're just having a normal potty chair wherein they can go and sit on the chair and they can relieve themselves. Okay. And another thing that I want to say is, like, we are actually using Indian closet right now for almost a year. So I think last April when the lockdown started is when I actually started using Indian closet for a hyan, so that I have just let him and showed him कि he himself can go and sit unassisted. So before he used to use the potty chair, and then we had to go clean him up, and now what he does is he just removes his pants and he's able to go sit and relieve himself. And we have started this with Mizan also, like around 6 months back when we started potty training him around October. So both of them, they themselves can just remove their pants and go sit, and we have to go and clean. So having potty chairs is going to give them that confidence that they themselves can go sit. They do not have to depend on you, that you have to come carry the child, go somewhere. So when they're starting to walk, let them walk and go and sit on their places, that they don't have to worry that somebody has to help them in their things. And you can have, when you're having potty seats, again you can use this step stool for the child to step on the stool and sit on the potty. But you see, most of the parents, when you're having potty seats, they'll be holding the child tightly, like, so the child doesn't slip out or something. So again, all this creates a lot of confusion and frustration for the child, that he's always dependent on somebody else and not able to do something by himself. So align all your tasks in such a way that they are completely independent and they don't have to depend much upon you. And another thing that I want to tell in your bathrooms is to have mirrors. If you're able to have a full size mirror, excellent, that so that the child can learn about the body awareness, like when he's taking bath or when he's trying to dress himself, he can learn about the body awareness and exactly how to face the lot of questions about awareness on good touch, bad touch, and all these things can be started in your own bathrooms. You can talk to the child and tell him, like, whatever is covered in your clothing, those are, like, touches are not good and they are the bad touch, and what is exposed area is something like a good touch. Like somebody is going to pat you in the hand is a good touch, but going to pat you somewhere else is not a good touch. So this provides a basic start point for you to start talking on these things. And having mirror is also going to aid the child into self-dressing and self-help for himself. When he's able to see himself getting dressed, that is going to give them more motivation. So even if you're not able to have a full-size mirror, at least try to have a mirror on his reach so that he can see himself, like when he's combing his hair, when they're trying to tear their own rubber bands or clips. Like, let them see, like, they're just like other adults, no, they just want to imitate us, what we are doing when we are getting dressed. We stand in front of the mirror, so just try to make it same for them also, so that they feel that even they are a part of the home and they can do things like that. I've covered, I think, whatever I wanted to cover about step stools, soap dispensers, potty seats, travel sized pouches. And then in Montessori alignment, we also actually advocate to keep art forms all through the house. So some kind of art and painting also deserves a space in our bathrooms, but currently we don't have any. We have not kept anything there. That is also provides for the child for the interest to just gaze through some pictures and try to imagine things. But right now we are not having any of that. And next is, if you're not able to provide all this for the child, and if you feel that you want to set up a separate self-care station, then you can do set up. You can just get normal tables and set it up in one corner of the room, like closer to the bathroom or something. You can keep water dispensers so that those taps will be small and easy for the child, like the normal water dispensers that we are having, so that the child can actually open the water. And you can keep normal basins, the steel basins itself, for when the child can learn to wash the hands by himself. You can put again command hooks on those places so that the child can take out the towels and put the towels back by himself. And you can put a normal shelf, the normal the pipes shelf, so that they can hang on their clothes or their used clothings there. And you can have small bathroom organizers, like wherein they can store all their clips and your combs and brushes and paste. So it all comes down to your innovation of how you can perform the task of having a bathroom outside itself for the child to do it with ease. If you feel that he cannot, actually you do not want to give him that freedom of keep standing on stool, or with the fear of the child might slip, then you can try this alternative where you can have small tables that are on child's level, with small accessories that can aid in hand washing and face wash for the child. So this is it. And what are the activities that the child has to be able to know to do by himself at a certain period of time? So for toddlers around 18 months of age, like 12 to 18 months, like above 1 year, I think they're good to go. They start mobilizing around, so they're good to do many other activities. So what you can focus, you can note down these points. For around 12 to 18 months of age, you can focus that the child is able to perform his brushing independently. Definitely you need to intervene and help him out, but he should be able to take out the brush and brush. And if you are comfortable in giving toothpaste, well and good, but again keep small quantities. Like there's a different video on brushing techniques and things that I have discussed on a particular live, and it's saved on the YouTube channel, so you can just go see it there. So he's going to be able to brush the teeth, comb his hair, and then pack away the toys in the bathtub. If you're giving him a bath, then you just don't end with the bath, you just aid him to take away the toys and put it back in some place where you have kept it for the storage in the bathroom. So packing up the toys, and then fetching towels and putting back the towels in the spaces, and removing their clothes, the clothes that you remove from them, you just I aid them and guide them to put it back in the some baskets or bins that you have assigned in your particular bathrooms. For older kids around 2 years and around 3 years, they should be able to blow their noses. So if it is around 2.5 and 3, you can then start teaching them how to wipe their nose clean, and just tell them what is good and what is not. Like picking their noses is not good, so you just teach them what is right and wrong. So when you reason out and teach things to the kids, then they understand it better, and they can perform any action unassisted. And then they should be able to wash body. So I have seen both Ahyan and Mizan right now, they can actually take the mug and they just try to pour water over themselves. Initially when you see, they will not have the coordination to put it directly over the body, they will be putting somewhere in the front, it will be spilling down and all. But now over repetition, they are able to nicely glide water through their hands, this hand, that hand. So they're able to do, and they can hold the soaps and actually scrub their hands and stomach and all that. So it all comes over a period of time, repetition. Like I say, give them opportunities, give them time, give them the patience of your patients to just sit and observe, and let them do, let them mess it up, let them make mistakes, but at the end of the day they will learn. So let them perform any action independently, and that is where it all comes down to. And then cleaning the face, so definitely they will not be able to clean it clearly like how you want it to be cleaned up, but at least let them try, let them just wet their faces. So that's how we started initially. I just gave them a small jug of water where they just have to dip in their hands and just try to wet all the full face. So what I told them was to completely wet all the surfaces, whatever is exposed, so all the face, the nose, the forehead. So they just have to put everywhere water, and they were like they have washed the face. So the next step I introduced them is offered soap, and told them now you have to do the same with the soap. So then they have to do with the same with the soap, and then I said then you have to wash it out. So when you introduce things step by step, slowly, repeatedly, then you're definitely going to see results. So this is it. Like I said again, does not happen overnight. You have to put in efforts over a period of time with lot of mess, lot of hit and runs. Ultimately they do learn it out. So just have patience, and I think that's it for the day. Okay guys, thank you, have a good day.